Hey guys, Corey Bricker here. September 10th, National Suicide Awareness Prevention Day. I want to make it a little bit different video today. It's kind of different. I have been making some videos on depression, as you know, and different things that are like self-help, geared up to try and help people that are struggling with different things. And I want to share a little bit about my story today, because I have struggled with major depression and thoughts of suicide immensely over the last about 3.5 years or so. And I've always had some depression in my life, but I've never been as depressed as I have been in about the last 3.5 years or so since my divorce. I've never had more days that I just wanted to die or wish that I wasn't alive than I have had in these last few years. And I want to be honest with you guys, and I want to share from the heart today. I can't tell you how many days I've woke up and just said, God, I don't want to be alive today. Or how many times I went to bed at night and just prayed, God, please don't let me live tonight. I don't want to live another day. I'm so sick and tired of living. And I've just been so depressed, you know, with the loss of my family unit from my divorce, not having my kids with me full time, struggling with addiction. I went through all these feelings of just insecurity as a man and who I was. I completely lost my sense of manliness, or everything that I should feel as a man, my sense of self-worth and sense of peace, well-being. I was just so insecure, and I was so full of self-pity. I hated life. I felt like everything was so unfair, and it just wasn't getting any better. It was just getting worse. I was fighting with my ex-wife, and I didn't get to see my kids very much, and I just felt like I lost a part of me, and like my soul was just being ripped out of my chest. And I don't know, I've just had more days where I just didn't want to be alive than I cared to admit, but I want to share it with you to let you know there has not been a day that has gone by, there almost hasn't been a single day that hasn't gone by where I didn't think about just wanting to be dead. I've had a few good days, but there's been so many days where at least one time or a better part of that day, I just didn't want to be alive. Have I made plans to commit suicide? No, not really. I've thought about ways, but I'm just kind of a chicken shit, and I just, you know, I had a belt around my neck once, and I thought I could hang myself, but I couldn't do it. I was in such a bad place. I've been in just such a bad place. If you've been there and you've been suicidal, you know what I'm talking about, where you get to such a bad place where you're in such despair that you can't imagine anything that will make you better. You can't imagine anyone you can talk to that'll help you feel better. You can't imagine any solutions. You're just so far down, gone, in despair and hopelessness that you feel like that's the only way. But really, I don't know, for me, like, killing myself doesn't feel like the answer, but living doesn't feel like the answer. It's like you're in this living hell that you can't get out of by staying alive or being dead. And the only thing I can say is sometimes you just sleep on it and you wake up. But there was a lot of times where I slept on it, and I'm not even joking, for like a year straight. I would wake up in anxiety and just not be wanting to live. It was horrible anxiety and fear and just distress constantly, and I just didn't want to live. And I can see now why people want to kill themselves. I understand. I really do. I really understand. And so if you're listening to this and you've ever felt like killing yourself, I can relate. And I don't listen to that bullshit that it's the most self-centered thing you could possibly do. You know what? The people that say that are the most self-centered people in the world, because they don't give a shit about how you feel and how you got to this place of complete desperation. You know, so if you're relating to my video and you resonate with me and you understand how I feel and how you can get to that point where there just seems like there's no hope left and no one cares and there's not a goddamn solution in sight but to kill yourself. And then there's these thoughts of people saying, well, that's the most selfish thing you can do. You know what? Fuck them. Fuck that bullshit. And excuse my language, but you know what? Fuck them. They are the most self-centered people in the world because they don't give a shit about you. But I do. I care about you, and I care that you have gotten to that point where you are so desperate and you're in desperation that you have no other answers and you feel like there's just nothing. There's no solution. You can't even imagine what that would be. Biggest thing I can do right now is, for one, I have to exercise. Number two, I gotta watch who I hang around with. I gotta surround myself around the right people. I was around a few people that were really bringing me down. As soon as I changed my circle, man, it changed everything. It lifted me out of that, where it was like this constant everyday thing. Trust me, I still have days where I don't want to live. I'll come home and I'll just say, God, I just want to gas myself or something, you know? I want to die. But, you know, today's not one of those days, so I'm grateful for that. And I've had quite a few days where I managed to get through it without not feeling like I had to die, but I've still had a great number of days where I did feel like I want to die. And on those days, sometimes I don't have the answer, but one thing I do say to myself that might help you is I know if I sleep on this, tomorrow's going to be a different day and I'm going to wake up feeling just a little bit different. I might not feel exactly better, but I'm going to feel different than the way I feel right now, because sometimes you get stuck in a rut and then you're just in this zone where you're just completely just like baffled by it. You're just like, you feel so awful, and it's such a terrifying, awful experience where you can't break free from this dark cloud that's over you, you're just wanting to die to escape, and there's just like no way to escape, and you don't even feel like death is an escape. I don't know. If you're listening and you can relate, great. I'm glad you understand. I know there's people that understand because I talk to. Those are my kind of people that I talk to today, people that understand me and get me. And you got to start doing that. You got to start getting a circle of friends that you can talk to. One of the biggies for me has been creating a favorites list in my cell phone. It's like, okay, when you get to this spot where you're in complete desperation, you don't know who you can talk to. You don't know who your friends are. You don't think you have any friends. What you need to do is, on your good day, or if you're having at least a halfway decent day, I'm not saying you're having any good days if you're going through a major bout of depression where you want to kill yourself, but if you have at least a halfway okay day, make a list in your phone of people that you know that are your friend, and put them in your favorites and say, who can I call if I'm feeling this bad? Who is it that I can call? Because you're not going to do that when you're feeling that bad. Do it when you're having a halfway decent day. Make that list of people that you know you could call when you're having a downtime or when you're feeling like killing yourself. And I'll tell you what, I've hit those favorites more times than I care to admit, but I'll tell you what, that's saved my bacon so many times. I called people when I didn't want to call anyone, but because I made that list, I knew those were people that I could call. So you got to do that. Try it. If it helps, great. You know, I'm not giving you any answers, but I hope I'm giving you some things that have helped me, because I know I'm still going to have a bad day and I'm going to feel down and depressed and not want to live. But I'm just trying to get this out here in the open, because I feel like the more we're aware of it, the better we'll all do as a whole, because we're ashamed of it. We're ashamed of how we feel. We're embarrassed. We don't want to talk to anyone. We don't want to get this information out there in front of people. You know, we want to be careful who we share that with. And sometimes you do need to be careful who you share that with, because sometimes some people will think you're crazy because you're sharing how you really feel. And that's not fair, but I'm letting you know that I care and there are things you can do. What can you do to get aggressive with your mental health? What can you do? You have got to get aggressive with your mental health if you are thinking about dying all the time. Plain and simple. You gotta get some help, man. I do. And I make it a point to do something every week every week for my mental health, whether it's a counseling appointment, getting exercise a couple times a week, talking to accountability partners, people that I know that I can talk to about this stuff. I go to support group meetings. I talk to my dad, talk to someone that'll make you feel better, a parent if you still have your parents, a trusted friend. There's all kinds of things. These are all things, I'm just telling you things that I do to try to stay above that shit. Because man, that shit can get heavy and weigh you down and make you want to die if you don't stay on top of it. So you got to get aggressive with it. I have to get aggressive with it. That's my new motto. Get aggressive with your mental health. That's my number one tip right there, guys. Get aggressive with your mental health. Because if you don't, it's going to get aggressive with you and it's going to make you want to die. So you got to take it and grab it and control it. I'm not going to say what I was thinking about saying. Well, you got to grab it by the balls and take control, you know? Depression and suicide are tricky, you know? Depression wants to take you out. Okay, well, that was weird. I got a phone call and it stopped the video. So I'm back. I'm finally home. It's much later and now I got to finish this video because I started it and now it needs an ending. But anyways, where was I? So suicide can be a real bitch. Depression, you know, the suicidal thoughts. And I just wanted to make this video because I thought it might help one person, somebody who's watching my channel. I just want to reach out to you and provide encouragement and be transparent with who I am. And I might not always do that on my videos, but I do want to be honest and just share some things about myself to maybe help someone. And yeah, you know, if this video has helped you, or if you think it could help someone, share it with them. Give it a thumbs up. If you've watched this far and made it this far, just say hi in the comments. Say hi and tell me where you're from. If you need anything, if you need encouragement, feel free to hit me up, say hi in the comments, or just shoot me your email or whatever. And as always, thank you guys for watching my channel. I really appreciate it. It's 7,000 subscribers today, and I think it's a big milestone. But I just want you, you know, if you're feeling like me or you can relate to anything I've said, just take on my motto right now, which is aggressive mental health. Do what you got to do to get out of the rut. And if you're in a rut, or if you're feeling like you're in a rut, you don't actually get stuck unless you stop moving. How do you get out of a rut? Keep going forward. Just keep going forward. Eventually you'll come out of the rut. The only time you get stuck is if you stop. That's when you're stuck. All right. I don't know what else to say. I'm beat. I'm tired. I did my mental health care today. I went for a jog when I got home. I ran a mile and then I walked back, so that was about 2 miles, and I feel much better and feeling a lot better than when I went out anyways. I hope you like this video. Like I said, share the love and give me a like and sub my channel if you haven't already. Keep coming back for more good videos. I hope this helps you out, and if you're feeling down, you know, and you're just, you know, you don't see a way out and you feel like you're connecting with me, at least say hi, would you? You know, start taking some actions that'll help you feel better. Life's about people and connections, and I'm so aware of that now. It's just all about your connections, because that's really the one thing you can change is, you know, people you're with, people that will influence you. The right circle of people can influence you and change your life faster than you could ever imagine. It can happen quickly. So the climb out of this depression can happen a lot quicker than you would think, but please don't kill yourself. It's just not worth it, and it's not the answer. All right, love you guys. Peace out. Hit that sub. Thanks.